It is the first time that I felt this is the end of Lebanon.
Today, we sit down with a trailblazer who's redefining the very fabric of fashion, Rami Kadi. What made you think you were ready for such a big step?
You always have to believe in yourself. So if you have support from everyone, but you're not sure of yourself or you're not sure of what you're doing, support doesn't get you there. So success and creativity, they are aligned, but you don't have to be creative to be successful.
What is it that you think set you apart?
I was the first designer in the Middle East also who delved into the world of NFTs and crypto.
They are full of joy, but they come from a really dark place.
It's sad to say, but I will say things the way they are. It keeps me going, it keeps me creative, it keeps me alive.
There's something so incredibly special about Lebanon, about Beirut.
Beirut is my heartbeat.
Even in the darkest of moments, there is still light.
I wanted to create something that really resembles my feelings, my heart, and how I see things.
What was the most difficult moment in that time for you?
When I left my house and gave the key to my parents, as if I'm not coming back.
What is next now? Welcome to Power Play with me, Sally Mousa, where we dive into the stories and visions of the world's most inspiring changemakers. Today, we sit down with a trailblazer who's redefining the very fabric of fashion, Rami Kadi. Renowned for his boundary-pushing designs and innovative artistry, Rami isn't just a designer, he's a visionary who fuses sustainability and technology with haute couture, creating dreamlike pieces that tell stories of the past while shaping the future. From dressing A-list celebrities to championing eco-conscious designs, his creations have graced the runways of Paris and red carpets worldwide, making bold statements about art, identity, and the planet. Rami, it's so great to have you with us.
Thank you for this introduction, Sally, and thank you for having me.
It is so good to have you. You know, you have an incredible story, but I want to start from the beginning about where your love for fashion comes from.
Actually, my love for fashion comes from a while ago, so I can't remember it. I just can remember myself as a child that I was playing with fabrics, colors, anything that has to do with art, actually. And you know, being raised in Lebanon was not very easy for me to come and say, hey, I want to become a fashion designer. So I was going more into this as an interior designer. So this is what I was telling my parents that I want to do. I want to like create furniture so I can have this feel of fabric and this feel of colors. But they were very supportive. And then when I became around 15 years old, became a teenager, I told them that I want to become a fashion designer, and I got the full support of my mom and dad. This is where I am now.
That's rare, though, to have, you know,
Yeah,
the support of your
I'm
parents.
lucky to have such parents, to be honest. Even though I was accepted at Henri Poincaré to study math without any exams. So, and they tell me they just told me follow your dreams and this is your path, and
You
we're
were
here to
brilliant.
support you.
You were brilliant in
Math only, because I was dyslexic. I only math was very easy for me, but other things like literature or any languages or any reading was very difficult for me, but numbers were very easy.
That is so interesting because it's like, you know, I'm thinking of fashion. There's a lot of numbers involved there. If you've
Yeah,
ever done
especially
pattern
while
making,
creating the patterns, and
yeah,
there's lots
exactly.
of geometry and
And the way that you create, you have this like this beautiful your art. I feel like your fashion is art, right?
exactly, yes.
And the way that you have this conscious way of creating that when you look at your designs that there's this the geometry, the patterns, it's almost
Yeah,
like
you feel
you
it's more
understand that.
in space. I like to work in space, so like I always in my head there's always the X, Y, and Z that is going this way, and it's going to the to the infinity. So
It's incredible. It's a kaleidoscope. Your designs are like
exactly.
a kaleidoscope of
I even did
color.
a collection. My first fully sustainable collection was called Kaleidoscope.
Incredible. But
Now you're saying it,
it
it's funny.
it's the color and the way that you design. You know, what is it that inspires you? Where are you getting your inspirations from?
Listen, I believe that inspiration is around us. I don't search for inspiration. I just keep my eyes open and my mind open, because inspiration doesn't need to become from a beautiful space or from a beautiful story. It can come from the darkest moment you have, or from the from trash sometimes. And I believe lots of uh, designers or lots of artists that are creating sustainable pieces, their inspiration is not from a beauty, or is not from perfection. Their inspiration is from imperfection, or from trash, or from uh, dangerous moments of the earth, so they can create a better future. So shouldn't be only blingy and shiny and beautiful.
100%. Talk to us about some of the inspirations for some of your works that really stand out the most for
For
you.
me, Sally, inspiration, like even when I'm out on of inspiration, I can just I used to go look at windows, for example, shopping windows, and remove my glasses because I can't see well, and I would imagine what's in this window, and then this is how somehow I can create new things without having a clear vision.
I love that. It's like you're just completely, it's like stripping yourself of that sense of vision that's
Yeah,
taken
like
you
for
somewhere
example, I
else.
can remove now my glasses and see what is Sally wearing. Okay, it's a navy dress, but let me imagine it the way I see it. And lots of my creation happened this way.
You take inspiration from things like fireflies. I know that you've had collections
Yes.
just from fireflies, things like that, and discarded materials.
From this collection, we have created a collection. I was the first designer who created a collection in the Arab world that glows in the dark, and that was a revolution in the fashion industry. And we created wedding gowns later on, while the bride is going down the aisle, and her dress like lights while she was walking. So when the lights went off, so we created lots of nice, remarkable uh, themes during my collection.
And I love that you experiment with materials as well. You've used materials that other people have never used before and even created your own. Tell us about that process. What are you doing? How are you creating? How are you
Listen, we
experimenting?
first of all, we're a team of very young, interesting people. Uh, Maybe not all of them studied fashion, or maybe two of them maybe studied fashion, but the team didn't study fashion. I like to have people around me that are very young at heart, uh, and we all have the same vision, more or less. So when I say I create, it is not that I create, that it's a group work, which I love to do all the time. I don't like to create something just by myself. I like to experiment things. And while we experiment things, like for example, trying to melt something, for example, in the oven, but one of our sequence went inside by it was there. So we got a very nice shape of a sequence, and this is how we created, for example, a full gown. With trial and errors, we always uh, it takes you to places where you didn't expect to.
It's funny that that happened by accident.
By accident, lots of things happen by accident, or lots of things doesn't work this way, but they can work in different ways with different materials. So we're always here to experiment new things, new techniques, and this is my strong point that I have.
2011, you decided to open your own maison.
Yeah,
That is, you were very young at the time, 25,
I was, yeah, 24.
24 at the time. What made you think you were ready for such a big step at that time?
A very famous Lebanese fashion designer, Rami Kadi, founded. He did a foundation to promote young designers, and that was the first season. And he told me to apply for it, and I was very young. I was 21 years old, I believe, finishing school, finishing university, and I actually applied, and I got accepted with three other designers, and we got the chance to have a boutique in downtown Beirut for free for about 2 years. And this is how the brand began. So it was not planned, it was not, you know, it just happened. And it just happened that I got lots of, started with Kuwaiti clients. They used to come a lot to Beirut. And this is how the name started. And I said, I cannot stop now and then go back to doing my master's. So خلاص.
That's it. Because this is a thing for a lot of young designers, a lot of young entrepreneurs. It's like, how do you start and when do you know when to start?
So after that, I opened a showroom.
Yeah.
Uh, I used to put my collection and other friends' collection as well. And in this year, I did very well, and I said, why not open my own store or my own boutique? And this is how it happened. But it's the thing is that I really believed in it,
Yeah.
and when you believe in something, I'm sure that it happens.
And you had others believing in you as well, Rabi, believing in you and saying, Rami, you have the talent, you have what it takes. How important do you think it is to have somebody behind you like that?
Listen, when you have support, uh, it is something very like it when you have support from someone, you really have the support, but you always have to believe in yourself. So if you have support from everyone, but you're not sure of yourself or you're not sure of what you're doing, support doesn't get you there. So support is very important. My parents' support, my friends' support, Rabia's support. I even got the support of Eli Saab when I was at university. I got he gave me my degree, and I got the the first prize. So he gave it to me. But to have support without you believing in yourself will not take you anywhere.
You created your own maison with your atelier. You just said that you've only got a couple of people in there who actually studied fashion. So when you're creating your team, when you're putting together a team to create your incredible designs, what are you looking for?
I'm looking for the things that like I look at my what I have as weakness, and I try to fill them up with a good team. Like for example, marketing. I'm not that good at doing marketing. I know what I want, but I'm not good at doing it by hand. Um, with PR, with press, with like a bit of vision, you know. So I try to fill those blanks out with my perfect team.
So you would say you were like, in terms of marketing, not that strong, in terms of,
Yes, the things that I'm very good at creating pieces,
yeah.
but creating, if you're a great creator and you're doing it at home, it will not take you anywhere. So you need to show your pieces. So this is why you need a great marketing team, you need a great PR team, you need a great sales team, so your name can get where you want to.
I think it's vital that you mention that because I think there are designers or creatives that don't seek out those people to be part of their team.
I always say that creativity is only 10% of your success. There are people that, or brands or factories that are super successful, but they just copy other designers. But they're super successful. They're everywhere and they're multimillionaire companies. So success and creativity, they are aligned, but you don't have to be creative to be successful. You need to be smart and you need to have a strategy.
Fashion is one of the most intense industries in terms of competition. What is it that you think set you apart in that time and continues to set you apart?
I believe that what is keeping my name strong, because you know I don't have investors. I own the company. We're not on the global we're not on the global market yet, and I only do couture. I don't have ready to wear. I don't have mass production. But I believe what's keeping me going and what's keeping the name there is that we're always pioneers in what we do. Like for example, we were the first designers who did a glow in the dark collection. We were the first designer who created a cyber show before even COVID began. I was one of the first designers who included sustainability in my pieces, and I took it all the way out, and we're still doing it up until today. I was the first designer in the Middle East also who delved into the world of NFTs and crypto. So we always try to find something that will differentiate us from others. And I like to be who I am. I like to stay young. I like to be close to the people. Like for example, now we did, I don't know if you saw them, we did gadgets, water bottles, thermos bottles, coasters, things that can have a big audience that are like teenagers and they're at universities or at school. So
Gen
I
Z.
would like to, yes, to cater products for them as well. So trying always to be close to the people and trendy. This is, I think, what keeps me going.
In this time, I think it's been like 14 years now, right?
Yeah.
Since you opened
Yeah, when you say
your
it, it's a long
maison.
time.
That's incredible. It,
But
it
for me,
really is
it's
incredible. What have been the biggest challenges in that time?
it's sad to say, but I will say things the way they are. Um, the strongest challenges is that I am based in Lebanon, and being based in a place that is not very safe, but not very stable, is challenging for a designer. We have lots of ups and downs, but I believe that this is what staying in Lebanon is very like it keeps me going. It keeps me alert. It keeps me creative. It keeps me alive. And this dual existence in my life, I think, makes the brand going.
There is something so incredibly special about Lebanon, about Beirut. Beirut is the capital of glamour
I think
in this
Beirut
region.
is my heartbeat. So with everything that is going on, I cannot leave.
Never. It's
I'm always on a plane. Listen, I'm always on a plane. I always go in and out every week, but it has. I like my home is Beirut. I
and
like to have my house in Beirut.
it's that kind of dual thing that you're talking about. It's your heartbeat, it's the inspiration, but it's also the source of all the strength because there's it's unmatched resilience that you see in Lebanon, in Beirut, in the Lebanese people. It's extraordinary. I've
Yeah, I
never been to
think I
Lebanon,
think
but I
because you
feel it.
have you are forced to to do lots of efforts in Lebanon for you to sustain and to keep going. I think because you are forced to do this, your creativity and your level, like you're doing so much effort where people will see your work or it pays off somewhere somehow.
Yeah, it's incredible. How does
Unfortunately, but this is the way.
how does that spirit of the glamour, because Beirut is unmatched in terms of glamour in the region, and I would say even in the world. How does that inform your designs and your identity?
I was raised in Beirut, so being in Beirut and seeing all those, I still remember like the magazines and the galas, when I was a kid and seeing all this glam, uh, keeping it authentic and keeping it uh, traditional in a way. I think this is what makes Beirut very special because you have the cultural, the Mediterranean, the Arab culture there, but at the same time you have the glam and you have the parties and you have the nightlife and you have those two aspects that are balancing each other and that keeping it authentic and real.
You have, as you say, you don't do ready to wear. You
No,
do
not
couture.
yet.
Not yet. Is that
Not yet.
in the works for you?
Yes, yes, of course, of course. To have a business, a perfect business model, yes, I should start doing ready to wear, but I'm taking things a bit easy on myself, and I want to do things. I want to be sure of doing things right.
I love that. And it kind of brings me to my next question, because we live in a world where right now we want everything right now. We want it now. It's all about speed. And yet you have this incredible atelier. How many people in your atelier? 100?
We're 40 in house, but we're 100 or more than 100 when we work on collections or when we work
How do you
on projects.
balance that? You know, that kind of the way that the culture is, it wants everything right now with the kind of craft that you do. Because for people who have seen your work,
We listen. We don't cater much to we want right now. I don't do that. We need 2 months to create a dress. We need 4 months to create a wedding dress, and those I don't want to say rules, but this is the way it is for you to be able to create a couture gown, a made-to-measure gown with you can choose the specific colors of each and a single bead. This takes time, and it is not magic at the end of the day. It is not a machine production where you just put it on the computer and it will give you a finished dress. Okay, I always follow the fashion calendars, the events, but I'm not rushing a lot. I want to keep my mental health stable. And this is why I created my art pieces. That was the main reason, where I'm not restrained at any norm, at any fashion calendar, at any events. I can create whatever I want. I shouldn't care, like really care about the weight of the piece, of how it's falling, if it's comfortable or not, if it's itchy or not, if the client will like the colors, if they're too much or not. I did this because I wanted to create something with no boundaries.
it's completely about you.
Yeah, and not following any fashion trends, any
Yeah.
trends in terms of colors, in terms of materials. This is trendy. This is not. I wanted to create something that really resembles my feelings, my heart, and how I see things.
I got to see the collection last night at a special preview. It was absolutely breathtaking, stunning, and so Rami Kadi as well. And
Thank you.
when we see these incredible artworks, they're so bold, they're full of color, they are full of joy, but they come from a really dark place.
Yes, exactly.
Talk to us about the inspiration and where that comes from.
I've always wanted to create art pieces, and it was always in my mind because my strongest point in the maison and the couture is our is our beadwork, is our hand craftsmanship. And I always wanted to create this, but again, with fashion calendars, fashion weeks, film festivals, etc., I don't have time to really think and create something that comes from the heart. So when the war happened, we were at our darkest times.
Just last October, yeah.
Yeah, and I moved out of Lebanon, and I had nothing to do. Like I had no work, nothing to create, and I felt the urge to create something special, something where I can go and dream and like go out of this reality. So I have created this collection that it's called Highway to Heaven, where it all starts with a highway full of colors with lots of depth, and that leads you to the wonderful world of Rami. So it will take you to the fantasy world of Rami, which is a very happy, joyful universe where you can find hearts, clouds, sun, moon, lots of planets, and lots of glitter and shine, and and you can see a lot of depth and different techniques of embroidery in every single piece. Like even in the smallest pieces, you will find at least 35 different techniques of embroideries.
It's not paint. The
No,
whole thing is done
yeah, by hand.
in beading
Yeah,
and embroidered by hand.
yes,
Beading and embroidered by
yes, with the
hand. It's
thread work.
breathtaking
Thank you.
because when you look at the works from afar, you see the
See
vision.
the nice colors and the shine.
But then when you come up close, you see the detail and you see the care and you see the craftsmanship and you see the art like in the most incredible way. So there are different ways to experience
Exactly.
this artwork, and it's truly
And there
astonishing.
is also lots of holographic material. So when you move to the left or you move to the right, you can see different depth or different reflection of colors in every single piece.
And you see, even there are some of the works, they have like a black sky, but
Yes.
even in the
But the
blackest
black sky
sky
is not black. It's
is
not
not
totally
black.
black.
Yeah,
This
because
is the trick in our techniques. The black skies are not black, and even the dark blue skies are not dark blue. They have a lot of we we had fun while creating those pieces.
yeah.
We added lots of small things, small colors that will make the artwork special. And I believe this is what makes it different.
But it speaks to as well the inspiration of for this incredible collection.
I wanted to escape reality. I wanted to escape what happened. And this time, it is the first time that we felt that actually I felt in Lebanon that there is maybe I will not come back, or maybe this is the end of Lebanon. We've been through a lot before. We moved, we lost our houses, our showrooms, our lives, but I never felt this way. So maybe because this is the way I felt, I wanted to create a different universe, a parallel universe where I can be as creative as I can and I can escape reality.
What was the most difficult moment in that time for you?
When I left my house and gave the key to my parents and put my valuable stuff at my parents' house as if I'm not coming back.
Incredible.
But we came back.
And here you are.
And here I am.
But you know what you're talking about, and you know, within the artwork itself, it kind of speaks to this whole inspiration, and it's kind of to say, even in the darkest of moments, there is still light.
Even if you see the art pieces, they all have happy elements. Even the clouds that usually are not happy elements, they're so happy. They have lots of small hearts in them with little stars. With they're all happy elements, and this is what I wanted to create. I didn't want to create something that is, uh, you know, usually in psychedelic art you can see lots of dark elements, and there is no dark elements in those pieces. Only joy and happy elements.
You can't help but feel hope when you see them, you know, and joy and happiness. It is just incredibly beautiful. As we were all looking at the works, how long does it take to create each one of these artworks?
Each one square meter, so 100 by 100, it takes about 300 hours of work.
300 hours of
Yes,
work for
but
each
we
square
have like
meter.
teams that are
Yeah.
working on each piece.
You had like, I think you said you have 8 people working on
Almost. It depends on the size.
the size.
Like on the small ones, we can put 3 people, but on the bigger pieces, we can put 8 people.
It's truly incredible. And it is just amazing to see it. But, you know, when you are creating, especially in fashion, I don't think people know, but fashion is, some would say, the third most polluting
Yes.
industry in the world, which is quite staggering and incredible to think about.
It was the second
It
a
was the
few years
second.
ago, which is
Exactly. It was the second. That's how I remember it as well. But in 2020, you were named the UN Environment Program Regional Goodwill Ambassador for Sustainable Fashion in West Asia. What does sustainability mean to you? It's a word that gets used so much. We don't even know what it means anymore. What does that really mean?
Sustainability is, first of all, I think it's a lifestyle. It's how you see things, how how you're how you live, Sally. For example, I will give you. I'm not gonna talk about fashion now. I'm just gonna tell you about the lifestyle. So, for example, now instead of drinking with plastic bottles or drinking like small bottles like we're used to it when we were at home, like you can get a big bottle even if it was in plastic, but you can have your, for example, small bottles with you that are in glass that you wash them. This is one. Two, instead of throwing your papers, you can give them to recycled factories where they can recycle the paper, because us at work we use a lot of paper. Instead of also buying paper, we're now buying recycled paper. Instead of throwing all the plastic, because we live in Lebanon. I think in Dubai it's way easier, but we live in Lebanon, so we have to give our plastic to those places where they can recycle plastic. So I believe it's a lifestyle, it's a behavior, it's how you see things. Uh, Now, if I wanna, like, when I buy a car, I will be aware of buying a car that doesn't pollute a lot, or an electric car like my dad did recently, you know. So it's a lifestyle. You cannot stop polluting the planet completely, but it's a lifestyle where you can at least be aware and be in control of what you're doing.
Absolutely. And you've got to make a conscious
And
shift.
in fashion,
Yeah.
what we're doing is we're trying to use a lot of eco-friendly dyeing material, because those material, when we dye the clothes in black and blue and those, they go into the soil, and then it goes into the water, and then it goes into your vegetables and everything you eat. So we try to always use biodegradable materials, as well as for the sequins, as well as for the pearls, because we don't use like real pearls to make the embroideries. So we try to use as much as we can materials that are biodegradable, dyeing materials that are also biodegradable. And there is also a lot of fabric that are beautiful, very nice, that are made out of recycled plastic from the ocean. We once did a fully made gown, and it really looked like silk, and it's innovative, it's new, and the clients are loving it. Not usually when people say it's a sustainable piece, they think it's plastic, or it's like, like bricolage. And no, it's you can have the finest couture piece in a sustainable material.
And I think it's important to say that, when people think of recycled materials, it's like it looks like a craft project
Yes,
that
yeah.
a kid did or something like that. No, it is like going to be stunning. Haute couture is,
Even the plastic, when they're melting the plastic, and then they get threads out of plastic, and then they do the weaving, so you can get um, like a fabric
yeah.
made out of plastic. But people think plastic, it's like
Because actually, we forget that these clothes are plastic as well.
exactly,
Nylon,
exactly,
polyester, it's actually already
exactly,
plastic, but you're
exactly.
recycling that and creating something new out of it.
And you can create lots of breathable fabrics. Now you can see lots of gym clothes that are creating, they're being done from those materials. So things are evolving in a fast and conscious way, which I think we're getting there.
Do you think that the fashion industry is doing enough?
I think that the luxury fashion is doing good, but uh, the fast fashion uh, is not doing good, because it's a fast fashion. It's a fast fashion, and they're here just to make money.
How do we turn that around?
I think we should have more. I think the governments of it should be more of a governmental thing where we have to have more awareness and more like the government should put rules to these factories on how to produce and what are the like for example now we in the food industry there are rules and regulations like you cannot do this, you cannot put this in this can, you cannot put this food in this it has to be sealed in a certain way, and I think this should be applied to fashion. And when this will be applied to fashion, I think things will get more regulated and things will get calmer.
And it's important to think that sustainable fashion is also about the people who make the clothes that we wear as well. And to value the things that we have. How important is that as well, to not treat things as disposable?
When you get things that are in a good quality, you will not treat them as disposable. But when you get things from, I will not say the names, like you order things online for $2, they are disposable. You will not care much about them. But when you order good quality items that are there and that will remain with you, with your house, that you will use them every day, and that maybe they are eco-friendly and they're even made out of sustainable sustainable materials, you will value them more.
There are even, fashion pieces that I've had for years that I love
Of course.
because they're so well made. You get to keep them for
You
years
get
and
to
you can
keep
wear
them. You
them.
can even now couture. You can, and what's nice about now couture that it's becoming more of a trend that people or clients are wearing their. Uh, they call them now vintage pieces. They're maybe not vintage, but they're made 10 years ago, and people are wearing them as exclusive limited edition pieces. And I have clients that are getting also old dresses and that maybe we can tweak them, adjust them to their sizes so they can wear them again.
I love that. Yeah. Because there is this trend right now. We have to address this trend of you've worn a dress once, it's gone out on social media, people are not going to wear it again.
But again, in my kind of clientele, which are top people now, because they are more aware of what they're buying, they are wearing their dresses more than once because they know the value of the dress and they know that this dress is a couture gown that was fully handmade and they know the value of the piece, and yes, they are wearing it more than once.
Yeah, we're seeing A-list celebrities doing that now.
Yeah.
It is
If
starting.
you have something that is valuable, you should be proud of it.
You absolutely
But
should
if
be.
you're buying something that is disposable, that is just for this picture or for this outing,
Yeah. We really have to rethink how we do all of these things exactly. Where is technology taking us? When we're thinking about things like AI, does that have a place
of course.
in fashion? Where is fashion going with the way that technology is moving these days?
I don't know where the world is going, if I can say, with the word of technology, but I like to go with the flow and see where I can for example, this line or this technology or this new technique will lead me or will take me. Sometimes I can adapt, sometimes I don't adapt, but I like to experiment and see where things can take me.
What are you most excited about right now?
I think with AI, things are becoming more easier, accessible. It makes your life easier in a way. But as I told you, I like to experiment things up to my knowledge, up to how I see things, up to how uh, it doesn't get too much involved in the creative process. I like to keep it authentic, but of course, I want to have the help of AI. Like if you can ask me a while ago, it's like searching either in the book or in on Google. Now it's much easier on Google, and we all do that on Google, and this is where things are taking us now.
You're designing with AI as well, no?
I'm trying to design with AI, but since I do couture and things are very delicate and detailed, still didn't find the right program or didn't find the right. Uh, Maybe I can design a sleeve or a volume or a kind of a print, but I have to redo it myself.
Yeah.
As if I'm getting help a bit, but I didn't find the right. And I don't think in couture or in such detailed or intricate techniques you will find the perfect AI program for it. But it can take you somewhere. It can help you going to different uh, path in the creative process.
Working as an emerging designer right now, for example, would you place a lot more emphasis on doing things by hand, um,
It
rather
is
than
it
relying
it is
on
not it
technology?
is not mandatory to do things by hand, or I want to do things by hand because I'm stubborn. I'm not a stubborn person. I like to be open. I like to get as much as information as possible, but I will do it my way. Today we're using our phones to do anything. Like before that, if I took a picture now with you and I don't like the plant, I will give it to the graphic designer that works for me, and then please remove this. No, I don't like the color. Now you can do it with a click on your iPhone,
Instantly.
like instantly, and this will help you.
Yeah.
You shouldn't do it by hand. It is not a must to be to do things in a difficult way. La, you can do things in an easier way, but you do it your way. You do it
Mm-mm-mm.
how you see things, how you value things, how you believe in it.
You're a storyteller in your work. You love to tell stories. What are the stories that you're the most passionate about telling right now?
Is my is my art is the story of my latest art collection because it's very recent, it's very dear to my heart, it is very personal, and it was made from the heart.
What are you hoping that people are going to take away from your work, both the art and the fashion?
Listen, I'm a fashion designer at the end of the day, and I am known of being a fashion designer. And this is what I say at work. I am a fashion designer. Okay, if I do gadgets, if I do NFTs, and if I do furniture, if I do art, but I am known as a fashion designer, as a couture fashion designer. So this is my identity, this is my core. But at the end of the day, I'm an artist and I can explore whatever I want. And within this project, within this art project, I just don't want to just do those pieces and that's it. No, I want you to go into big hotels around the world and see my art pieces in the lobbies, see my art pieces in museums. I want to take it to the next step. I want to start creating walls and doors that open in both ways where you can see lots of different artworks. I want to go into the world of the wallpapers with creating prints with beads. So it's creativity has no limits. And in this collection, I said while creating it, usually they say sky is the limit, but for this time, sky is not the limit. It is just the beginning.
Amazing. Beyond beautiful dresses, what is the real impact of fashion? Why do we need couture?
I believe it's a very interesting question. It depends on your need, depending on where you are and where you live and your culture. So in the Arab countries, we need couture because we attend lots of events, we attend lots of weddings, and it is part of our culture to as for the ladies. What I'm talking about the ladies, so it is part of our culture to be dressed in a unique couture gown when you are hosting your wedding or you are hosting a party or you are getting engaged, and you want your piece to be unique, and no one has your piece. So this is the meaning, and this is why people need couture in their lives.
But beyond that, it speaks to who we are. There's something very deep about the way that we create. Especially, I feel like in Lebanon, in the Arab world, it speaks to who you are. It speaks to your
It's
identity.
it's of course, and it speaks to both identity, mine and the client's. Because when I'm creating something, for example, for you, I will have to put my identity, my output, my soul and feelings, but I have to also fulfill yours. So I always try to see my I always try to create through your eyes as well, keeping both identities aligned.
And so it kind of speaks to, I guess, what I'm trying to get to with the question is, why is creativity so important for us?
Because you feel when you're wearing a dress and when you have created something with the designer, you feel that you are wearing something from your soul or from what you have created or from your mind, and this dress resembles me because I have created the dress with the designer. Or at least I gave the designer the idea or what I want, and even if you are not a creative person, from the way you will talk to me, I will try to adapt what I understood so I can put it in this dress.
It's a vision. I feel like it's not just a dress.
Yeah, exactly. It's your personality in what you're wearing.
Yeah. And I just think that's so important that creativity keeps us going. It keeps the soul going. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, yeah.
What is next now, especially as we look forward to your new fashion collections?
So now we're gonna be launching our spring-summer couture collection, Chaîne de Danse, and it's a very fun collection that was created from the theme of Rococo and Baroque eras. So I have gathered the details and the colors of those eras, and I have created them in a very contemporary way, where we had lots of fun shooting them and creating them.
I love that you've gone into this whole thing of creating a film around it as
Yes.
well. Another way that you tell stories, how important is it to find these new mediums and find new ways of telling the story of your work?
We were talking about a new way of showing the dresses or a new way of showing my work. And every time we're seeing like either a fashion show or we're seeing a fashion movie, if I can say, things are always repetitive. Like you can always see the same girl going in and out, in and out, in and out. So we didn't want this in this collection because it's a playful collection, if I can say. We had really fun doing the collection, and we wanted something new in terms of filming the collection. So we did like a small fashion film where there is a lot of things happening, and your eyes will remain on the screen.
Yeah, amazing. Amazing. It's beautiful.
So there is small stories here and there, and different under themes, and you'll always be captivating by the movie.
What's your advice to young designers and entrepreneurs who want to be
Just to think out of the
groundbreaking?
box, uh, keeping the norms a bit close to, keep them close to you so you can remember about them, but don't fall under the trends, or don't fall under this umbrella where you're stuck under this umbrella. Try to think out of the box. Try to uh, not to limit yourself.
What about failures and mistakes?
There's always failures and mistakes, always, and we learn from it, and failures and mistakes will keep you stronger and will keep you going towards new things in life.
You've dressed some of the greatest, most amazing celebrities in the world, the most famous people. Who do you still want to see in your gowns? Or
To be honest, I don't have a specific person in mind. uh, i believe what uh, I believe that life has to offer a lot of things, and I don't want to put rules and regulation. I'm just open. I keep my aura and my energy out there, and whatever comes to me will come to me.
they love that, just open to the
I don't
universe.
like to put restrictions, if I can say. I don't like to focus on one thing. I like to focus on success and whatever comes will be successful to me, because I believe that God will give me more than what my vision is.
What is success to you right now?
Success for me is abundance of lots of things, abundance of health, abundance of love around me, abundance of orders and uh, like doing dresses, abundance of everything, abundance of flow, abundance of lots of good things.
Mm.
This
What
is
if
success. It's not just work. It's a full package of life.
it's a holistic idea? What is the most important thing that you do for your health and for your mental health as well?
I meditate a lot. I try to stay as healthy as possible. I try to exercise at least once a day. I try to eat
Even when you're
healthy.
traveling,
Yes.
it's a priority. It has to be done.
It is not a priority. If I don't do it, it is not the end of the world, but I try to put it in my schedule. I try to eat as healthy as possible. I try to maintain a healthy lifestyle, to sleep early, to wake up early. I try to maintain this as much as possible. Sometimes we have ups and downs, of course, but I try to do it while enjoying life.
And finally, I need to ask you, what is your power play? What is the thing that allows you to step into your power when you need it?
Is being true to myself. This is my power play. It's being true to myself and always being open to new opportunities, to be excited about tomorrow, about what life has to offer.
Fantastic. We're so excited for what's to come from you. Rami Kadi, thank you so
Thank you
much
so
for
much
being
for
with
this
us.
lovely time. I really enjoyed it.
Everything that you do is so incredibly inspiring and
Thank you.
it gets us to step into our creativity as well. I love that so much. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Sally.
Thank you.